Yo, yo! What's up, my fellow pawns? This is your boy, Gurhm here, and today we are going to take a look at the PON POLL 2016. There's a lot of old games, there's a lot of current games, and there's a lot of future games coming out, and I wanted to try and get everybody's feedback to understand what do we want to play, and most of all, what do we want to invest our time and money in the future. There's a lot of new games coming out. A lot of those games are AAA games, and even indie games are starting to get more and more expensive, and those games come out even more often. So I thought, hey, why don't we pool everybody's opinions together on all those games and figure out what the majority wants to play, and then we can prioritize those and start making some sound investments based on the majority of the group. So let's hop right in. Just as a quick recap, we'll take a look at the rating system. We've got 5 as a fuck yes, 4 most likely, 3 maybe, 2 meh, and 1 which is an adamant fuck meh. So we got 2 rounds that we did here. The bonus round to take care of all those other games that I didn't think of, which I'm so glad I added that in there, and everybody sent in their feedback to me because there's some super badass games that I missed, and I'm really looking forward to getting into those with you guys. So when we got everybody's feedback, I did 2 things. I went in and reviewed everybody's feedback, and then I took that and exported it and split them into 2 groups on an Excel spreadsheet based on the average score from everybody and the priority. And we've got 2 major groups. We've got the priority games, and then we've got the zombie pit. And of course, those are games that may be super low priority right now, but we would come back to them potentially. They're not completely dead, right? So, and some of them are cool. Some of us might think. And typically how it shaped out was, if it scored as a 3, that we had a lot of people that were interested, and we also had a lot of people that weren't interested in. If it was below a 3 on average, most people didn't like it, and of course if it's above 3, then we have a winner. So let's take a look at the first game, Battlefield 1. I personally am super stoked for this game. It scored really well, and this is of course the new iteration of Battlefield where they're taking it back to World War I, and it just looks fucking killer. I personally can't wait to just kill somebody by shoving a shovel into their neck, and just to become completely fucking enraged when it happens to me. So it scored really well. We've got 5 people that voted as most likely, 4 at fuck yes. We had 2 fuck no's and 2 mehs. So we've got some people in the group that aren't very interested in it. The majority are totally down, so we might have to try and coerce a few people here into hopping in and squadding up with us in this game, because I think it's going to be pretty awesome. So that scored pretty well. Let's keep rolling. Ghost Recon Wildlands. And sadly, this didn't make the cutoff. Oh, and I guess let me cover this real quick. So how we're going to do it is, if it's scored as a 3, then it's going in the zombie pit. Anything 3 or below gets the axe. If it's above a 3, then it got put on the priority list, and it's definitely a game that you are going to want to invest in because the group is going to be playing that game together. So sadly, this got a 2.85. That's all I gotta say about that. Compromises gotta be made. They gotta be made. So let's move on. Starbound. This scored in at a 3.23, really well. And we've got 2 or 4 people that weren't really interested, a bunch of maybes, and then a good majority that are pretty stoked on the game. Now, this isn't a game I normally would buy, but I went and took a look at it, and I thought, you know, what the hell? I voted in as a maybe and thought I'd give it a try if a bunch of people were interested. It got really close to the split here. I mean, it just almost tripped it right into the zombie pit, but it made the cut, and actually I bought it today. Next up is Battleborn. Now I took a look at this and didn't score this very well. That's a lot of maybes. 8 maybes. Ouch. And 3 fuck no's. That's, yeah. I was a fuck no. So let's cruise right along here and take a look at Homefront Revolution. Scored in at a 2.08. Not surprising, actually. The new one got totally fucking ripped apart from some of my favorite critics like Angry Joe, Total Biscuit, and Mac, who does Worth a Buys. You know, it looked like they tried to mimic kind of a Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4 template, but just couldn't pull it off. And I think everybody kind of realized that, because look at those scores. Ouch. Suck it. Alright, moving along. Magicka 2. This one was, God, really split. And I tried to get into Magicka 1, never did. And I know some of you guys loved that game, had a lot of fun with it. You know, it was real close to making the cut. And maybe one day, because it's so high on the list, just hanging on. It's kind of like hanging on the roots, you know, from the zombie pit. Just kind of like, just ready to climb out of there. And maybe we'll let it. So this one, unfortunately, though, is in the pit. Moving right along to the incredible, that I don't see the quotation. I should have put quotations. Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, which scores shitty. And I kind of expected it to, but I threw it on here because I thought, what the hell? It's kind of like tagged on to the whole Warhammer Vermintide, which scored really well. And I thought, hey, what the hell? Maybe some folks would want to play this. There were actually 5 maybes. Unfortunately, nobody was super stoked on it except for a few folks. And 3 fuck no's. So, damn, I mean, that's like so split down the middle there. 2.54. Doesn't make the cake, so peace out, Van Helsing. Alright, moving right along. I added Dead Island Remastered on here. Why did I do that? Well, they completely remastered the graphics. There were some technical issues. I'm not exactly sure if they fixed them, but it is a 4-player game, and I absolutely loved this game. It just had this cool vibe in it. So I thought, what the hell? It's remastered. It looks even more beautiful than it did before. Unfortunately, doesn't make the cake. So, sorry, Dead Island, you're in the zombie pit with the rest of the zombies. Alright, let's take a look at Dying Light. And damn, what a surprise. This scored really good. 3.69. I loved this game, and I know a lot of you guys loved it too. It scored in high to the point where I can't believe we don't play this more often. It has a killer story, so and even some great DLC. So if you guys haven't bought this game, haven't played it yet, or have and want to do it, man, I am down. And obviously a lot of other people are too. 0 fuck no's, a couple mehs, but this is a game I would love to go back to. And I already have it downloaded. I am ready. Let's get in there and parkour our motherfucking asses through hordes of zombies. Next up is I fucking love this game. And you guys should too, goddammit. It is the next Left 4 Dead. I mean, it is. Okay, so yeah, it's in a fantasy world and you've got swords and fireballs and shit like that. And you know, normally I kind of don't like the fantasy stuff. I'd rather have a gun and, you know, be in a post-apocalyptic world. But wow, we have 7 fuck yeses and 3 maybes, 1 most likely, and 2 fuck no's. So we got a couple people that absolutely don't give a shit, but we got a whole lot of people that do. My question is, where are you guys? Where is everybody that wants to play this game? Akash and I are in this game all the time. I mean, I'm talking like we put in at least 10 hours a week. We have a lot of fun in this game. I think that this game has a lot more life in it that we can give, and obviously people want to play it. So I absolutely think we need to get in here and hook this shit up because I love that game. Let's do it. Up next is Siege, coming in just like Warhammer Vermintide at a 3.85. No surprise here. Man, we have just been loving this game, and it is so fun. I know a lot of people have bought it, but look at the results here. There's not a single fuck no. We got 3 people that gave it a meh, and I get that, you know, there's not a lot of content, you know, the maps are pretty similar, but there's a lot of interesting things about the game, just in terms of cooperative. There's even, you know, getting online and being competitive. The AI is fun to play. There's so many cool and interesting things you can do in the maps, with the maps, that I absolutely love. And the characters in the game are differentiated enough to where you could have a lot of fun and just, you know, trying out different things. This game constantly goes on sale too, so pick it up if you don't have it. We're gonna keep having a lot of fun with this game. Super fun. Moving along to The Division. The Division. Yep. 2.31. Not a lot to say here. I played a lot of it, you know, when it was in beta, and it's pretty underwhelming. They just missed a lot of opportunities with this game. Honestly, I'm hoping that they kind of take the successful things from this game and put them in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and maybe I can use some of that review feedback to coerce some of the folks that gave Wildlands a lower score, try to coerce them into buying and playing that game. But there were some great ideas they had with this game, but they just bombed it. I mean, give me a fucking break. Why the fuck do I need to shoot somebody with 2 whole clips of bullets before they go down? Ugh. Moving right along. Evolve Stage 2. Almost made the cut, 2.85. Now, I loved Evolve, and I would love to go back to it. They just came out with this free-to-play revamp of the game, made a bunch of changes to it. I actually haven't gotten in there and tried it out yet. I honestly, there's just nobody else is interested. I didn't give it a fuck yes. So another pawn out there thought, yeah, let's do this. And this is my message to you. Let me know, because I will get in there with you and figure out if this thing is the shit or not. If they made it a little bit more tangible, I would be willing to get in there. Unfortunately, the group is pretty on the fence about it, and it's getting tossed in the zombie pit. So, fuck it. Next up is Left 4 Dead 2. And what the fuck is there to say about this other than, yeah, of course it got a 4.77. There's a couple people that aren't as jazzed about it, and I get that. You know, it's been out for so long, and we've played a lot of the third-party maps. You know, you just wonder, like, why the fuck is this game still so interesting? And I think it's just the fact that we can get in there, we're so good at it, we know it so well, and it does not hesitate to continue to provide those memorable moments that we all have. So, yeah, we're going to keep playing this game, and we're going to keep loving it, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Next up is Insurgency. Not a surprise here, scored in at 3.62. It was interesting to see that 6 of the people voted it as a maybe. And if it wasn't for, you know, several folks really loving it, this one really could have gone the other direction. Also, I gotta let you guys know, I have been following the developers of this game, and they are going to be coming out with a new version with updated graphics on a new engine. It's going to be the same game, but they're just making it better with new levels and new game types. So we're going to keep playing this, and there's a lot of exciting stuff coming out for it that I can't wait to play with you guys. Payday 2. Scored in at a whopping 4.08. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the results to this, I was like, holy shit, what happened to Payday 2? I mean, we all have it. When we play it, we all love it, and we never play it. So this is an interesting one for me. There's a couple others like this that we'll get to that are coming up, but we got to get in and do some more Payday 2, because I know personally there's a lot of content in there that I haven't even experienced, but man, do I have a lot of fun with you guys, and I want to keep getting in there and creating memories and having a good time in this world, because there's a lot of stealth gameplay and just funny goofing around in here that I know is yet to be had. So scored in at a 4.08. Let's make an effort to do more Payday 2. And if anyone out there doesn't have it, pick it up. It's cheap, it's always on sale, and it's worth getting in here. So we got to make a bigger effort there, because, wow, great score. Next up is Plague Inc. Evolved. Now, I gave this one a maybe. And the reason I gave it a maybe is because it's a little bit different of a game that I typically wouldn't just rush out and get. But I was really interested to see, you know, what everybody else would score it at. I do feel in my gut a little bit disappointed it didn't make the cut. It is close. It's like you don't want to step too close to the pit because this might just get your shoelaces. You know, we should definitely consider going back to this at some point. You know, you'll see when we look at the actual raw data on the Excel spreadsheet, this is pretty high up on the zombie pit priority. So let's keep an eye on this one. All right, let's move right along here. Rocket League. Scored in at a 3.0, didn't make the cut. Now, I gotta say,
Don't starve together.
This is an interesting one. Scored at a 3.15, pretty close to going into the pit, but made the cut. Not a game I would typically go after. We had 4 mez, so it's pretty split. And I think what we might need to do with this game is some of us are just going to need to, you know, drop on it, play it with, you know, 1 or 2 other people, and do some reviews, give some feedback. See if it's worth persuading other people to pick up. So pretty close there to getting the axe, but it made the cut. So it's going on the priority games list, and I look forward to giving it a try. I'm going to drop the cash. I know it's, you know, when it goes on sale, it's going to be pretty darn cheap. And I know that the Steam fall sales are going to be coming up. So I'll definitely be picking this one up. The Ship Remastered. So this scored in at a 3.38. We've had a lot of fun in the ship, and my personal feeling on it, and I think that I'll be honest with you guys, this is me. And why did I give it a 2? Well, God, I loved this game in the beginning, but it's just increasingly got bland for me, I guess, and you know, maybe I just need to, you know, lighten the fuck up. I'll try and do that, because holy shit, we got 3 fuck yeses and we got 9 maybes. Interesting score. I mean, 9 maybes. That's strange, but there's more people saying fuck yes than meh. So this is a game that we're definitely is going on the priority game list, and we'll play it at LAN party still. So makes the cut. It made the cut. It made the cut. God, maybe I should have said fuck. No. Okay, moving on.
Guns of Icarus.
Yes, I love this game, and I'm not surprised. I guess I am surprised. I am surprised to see it got a 4.38. Why am I surprised though? Well, I love this game. It's so dear to my heart. Ship battles in the sky, the strategy, the teamwork, and captaining those ships is so fun to me. Now, I can understand if there would have actually been some lower scores here, like, you know, some maybes, but wow, there's only 1 meh, no maybes. You know, some of the activities that you do on the ship can get kind of mundane, like, you know, hitting an engine with a fucking wrench the entire time while someone's yelling at you to go hit something else with the fucking wrench. You know, when you're so, and you can't hit 2 fucking things with the goddamn, and then you've got someone that's hitting the same fucking thing as you're hitting. You don't need him, and then like when he's supposed to be on the, so you run and you get on the fucking gun, and then all of a sudden you blow up, and it's like, well, fuck. But you know, everybody voted great, and I'm so stoked to see it score so high. 4.38. Boom. We gotta play this game more. I mean, let's not hesitate. I am fucking ready to fly some goddamn ships into somebody else's ship and blow that motherfucker up. So, Guns of Icarus, 4.38, super high on the priority games list. Let's do it. Next up, Nazi Zombie Army 2. I threw this on there. It was kind of an old school game. I don't play it anymore. I never advocate to play it. But we had some fun in this way back in the day when we were, you know, experimenting with branching out from Left 4 Dead 2. And I thought, what the hell? I'll toss it on there and see what people think. And scores in at a 2.77. Makes the zombie pit. Kind of fits the bill, I guess. 6 people gave it a maybe. 3 gave it a most likely, and then a lot of people that are on the fence. So, as much as I'd like to kind of try that out again, I believe I gave it a most likely. It doesn't make the cut, so sorry. Moving right along to
The Culling.
the culling. What is the culling? I'll tell you what the culling is. The culling is a DayZ mod. And DayZ is a fucking mod. And it's a mod to a game that feels like a shitty fucking mod. So we've got something that feels like a shitty mod and a mod of that I paid $60 fucking for and never played, and it's a goddamn piece of shit and it could burn in hell. And we've got a mod of that mod. So here we've got some serious fucking inbreeding. I hopped in here with Akash and we checked it out. And I'll tell you, you spawn in naked with your friend and you take some twigs and you try and make a bow and arrow. And then you take a rock and you try and chisel it down into, you know, the tip of an arrow, and then you try to kill people in it, and that's it. And we tried it for a couple days, and oh god, you know, it was shitty, and it scored out pretty much how you'd expect. I would honestly expect it to be a little bit lower, but that's just because, yeah, it reminded me of Arma Z. I mean. Day 3, whatever. Moving on. Tribes Ascend. Tribes Ascend. Tribes Ascend. Just, it warms my heart. But then I see this score, and I just think... 5 fuck no's. I mean, guys, no other game in this entire fucker got 5 fuck no's. Oh. Next up, Warframe. Warframe scored in at a 2.62. Not really surprising. Not really surprising as some other games. You know, but I thought, hey, what the hell? Let's give it a try. I'm willing to throw it on there and see what people think. Sorry, Zombie Pit, and moving on.
Dead by Daylight.
Not a surprise here. We've had a lot of fun with this game. Scored in a 3.69. And I gotta say that this is an interesting one in that I guess it's a shallow game. You get in and it's just, you know, there's a couple buttons to push, and let me tell you, you gotta fucking push those buttons a goddamn lot and fucking often. And it's just, if I could just say something to the guy that made this game, I mean, just fuck off, okay? It's fun though. I mean, you just gotta kind of give yourself a time limit, like 20 minutes. But those 20 minutes that you have are pretty goddamn fun. So it scored in great. We got 6 most likelies, 3 fuck yeses, and then a few people that you know, are on the fence or you know, not interested in it. But for the most part, fun game. Made it to the priority games list. Pick it up if you don't have it and hop in here with us. Scored in 3.69. Not a surprise. Arma 3. Yep. Scored in at a 1. Not a surprise, considering 1 was the only fucking option. Yep, that's right. You know, I actually tried to set it up in the, you know, Typeform design so that you could actually score higher than a 1. But, you know, every single time that I tried to add something so it would, so every single time I tried to add something so that it would, every single time I tried to add Moving right along here, we have the original Ghost Recon. Now, I tossed this on here because I thought, man, I had a lot of fun with this game back in the day. And yeah, the graphics are dated, but we've got new Ghost Recons coming out. Co-op in these games is super fun. I thought, what the hell? I'll throw it up there and you know, we'll see if it sticks or not. Did not stick.
The truth. The reality.
Next up, Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Same story here as the original Ghost Recon. I wanted to throw it up there and see, you know, it scored in really on the fence. Didn't pan out, and that's cool. Moving right along, now we know.
Broforce.
Now, Broforce it made the cut. And it barely made the cut, though. So it's on the priority list, but it's a little bit far down. Just kind of, it's like it's peering into the zombie pit enough to where, like, if there was a gust of wind, it might just tip right in. We're pretty split on this game. However, I did take a look at it and I gave it a maybe. It looks kind of fun. I mean, you know, a 2D side scroller where you get to be Sigourney Weaver or Sylvester Stallone and kill shit. Might be pretty entertaining. So there may be some great moments to have in here. It's on the list, the priority list. So definitely check this game out and pick it up in the sales because we'll probably be making an appearance in this game. Next up, Squad. Now this game scored in pretty shitty, and I kind of expected it to, but it is, you know, an online multiplayer game where you work as a squad. You know, it better. It is an indie game, which I was like, you know, fuck that. But I gave it a maybe to kind of see what people would think. Didn't score in good at all. 2.54, so fuck it. Moving right along. And then, of course, we have the other category. And that leads us into the PON POLL bonus round. And I just want to, you know, say thanks to everybody that sent out the other games that they definitely wanted to get voted on. I missed some really good games. So glad to see that this worked out as intended. Let's jump over and take a look at the bonus round. And of course we've got Gurhm and Gers making an appearance here on the top of, well, not the top, but almost to the top of, God, what was that? Mount St. Helens. Yeah, we've got Mount Adams in the background. Yeah, just me and my goat. Good times. So let's see. First game we got here is Steep. And it scored in pretty darn well. 3.54. I just recently found this game. And it isn't a game that I would normally feel like, yeah, I want to play that game. But you can hang glide and snowboard, ski, parachute all across the world at these amazing locations with your friends day or night, and it just looks fucking awesome. And I'm not surprised at how it scored out here, and I'm glad that it did score this way because I absolutely want this game. I want to get in here and fucking ski down a mountain with you guys, and just do some badass tricks that you know, there's no fucking way in hell I could do in real life. And that's why this is gonna be the shit. It isn't out yet, but it's supposed to come out, I think, early 2017. So keep an eye out and put this on your wish list. Moving right along to Overwatch. I was really surprised with this score, 3.46. Just scored fucking awesome. And I don't know many of us that have this game. But if this is the truth, we need to throw some money at it, because I definitely have been curious about the game. It's, you know, you get in there and it's all multiplayer, right? Which I think have been, you know, some of our hesitation to getting into it. You know, there's no AI, there's no campaign. It's just strictly battling against other random players in multiplayer matches, and playing against randoms. And I believe it's 5 people per team, so 5v5. So I'm going to buy this game. I mean, people want to play it. We've got a lot of fuck yeses and a lot of most likelies. So for everybody, which I was on the maybe even the meh. I think maybe I would have given it a meh. I mean, you know, I've been convinced. I'm converted. Let's do it. Next up is Dreadnought. And this game looks fucking rad. And it scored really well, and I am so glad that it did. We've got, what is this, 8 most likelies. Yes, Yes, no fuck knows. And this game looks rad. I mean, you've got 5v5. Same thing as Overwatch. It's only multiplayer, but it's just got this killer sci-fi element to it where you're each commanding your own ship, and each ship has its own designated purpose. You know, you've got medics and you've got destroyers and, you know, some other stuff that I don't really know. So I'm not going to do a good job to sell this to whoever said meh, other than it looks fucking sick. Go check it out. I'm buying this game. It's not out yet. I think it's in beta. Let's jump in this world because it looks awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Next up, Heroes of the Storm. Didn't make the cut. It made the zombie pit. 2.77. Yeah, I think I was one of these. Pretty split here. We had a few people that, you know, gave it a fuck yes and some most likelies, but some mehs and some fuck no's. You know, definitely one to keep an eye out on though. If we find ourselves looking for something different and something new, this is pretty high up on the zombie pit priority list. So let's keep an eye on it though. Next up,
Escape from Tarkov.
now, why is this one on the list? Well, because it looks kind of cool to me. It is a kind of post-apocalyptic military shooter that's really heavy on survival. So you're doing a lot of inventory management, a lot of you know, managing the aspects of your character, like your health, your energy, and honestly, I put it on here because I've been following the game for a while, and anytime a game comes out from, you know, a Russian or a Ukraine developer that has that kind of stalker vibe to it, I'm really attracted to it, and I really want to get in that world and try it out. And this one looks really attractive to me. I think I'm the only one that gave it a fuck yes. But we did have quite a large number of maybes and some most likelies, and then a couple people that it definitely didn't look interested in. Now, it's not even in beta, I don't think, but it just barely made the cut. So it's low on the priority games list, but keep an eye out on this one, guys. All right, last game, Midair. And it didn't make the cut. Oh, it didn't make the cut. I'm sad. And actually, based on the Tribes Ascend votes, I get it. It scored pretty low. Now, I gotta say though, this game is about to go into alpha. So you know, maybe keep an eye on it. I mean, it's really on the fence. It's right there with Rocket League, and that's right. That was the other game that got a 3. So, you know, let's pay attention to this game. It's very Tribes Ascend-like. In fact, it's supposed to be a spiritual successor to the original Tribes, where they kind of stripped it down and left a lot of the kind of more modern, you know, game aspects that Tribes Ascend had in it. I already bought the game, honestly, and I'm gonna play it. But wow, the group is really split here. We've got 3 fuck no's, 3 maybes, but then we've got 3 fuck yeses, and 2 mehs and 2 most likely. So we're really split here. I expect that some of us will be in this game and some of us won't. It's gonna end up coming out free to play. So at the end of the day, you can hop in here and give it a try with us anyways, and I suspect we will. So you know, no hard feelings there. We may still be able to do this. And that concludes looking at each game line by line in the actual type form voting system. Let's exit out of here. Let's take a moment and open up the data so we can actually see what the raw data looks like. And I tried to organize it here as pretty as I could. So let's take a look at the priority games. I highlighted them here, and I'm going to send this out to everybody, but I highlighted them here where anything that's white is something that's already released. If it's on the priority games list, it's probably something that most of us already own, or it's free to play. And then there's the not released highlights, which are games that haven't come out yet that we're going to want to invest in once they're finally released. And as you can see here, you know, any game that you don't have that's in white, you're going to want to watch those sales or go out and buy based on their priority. These are games that the group wants to play, wants to put their money in, wants to put their time into. So that's how this can be helpful for all of us, is we've got Left 4 Dead 2 just reigning supreme up there at number 1. We've got Guns of Icarus sitting at number 2. Both games most of us already have. Let's get in these games more. Payday 2, same story there. Makes number 3, Warhammer Vermintide. Oh, yes. So glad to see this score well. Let's make an effort to hop in here. I mean, this is a really dense, cool Left 4 Dead 2 style game with great graphics that is super fun to play. Next up, Siege. We know the story there. Awesome game. If you don't have it, and I know quite a few of you don't, buy this game. Constantly goes on sale, and it is fun to play. We're hopping in this game every week. Unlike Vermintide that scored higher. Oh, actually, it scored identical, which we never get into. This game we're in all the time. So buy this game and have some fun with us in this world. Dying Light, this was one of those surprising ones, scored in pretty darn high. Let's hop in here and let's get some other folks to buy it because, wow, this scored really good. Let's keep doing that. Dead by Daylight, same story there. Buy it if you don't have it. We're playing a lot of that. Insurgency, this game's constantly on sale and is always cheap. In fact, for all those pawns that have some cash, if you see some of us don't have it, let's hook people up. I mean, this is a fun game to get into, and there's a great future for this game. Finally, we get down to number 9, which is we're tapping into the games that haven't come out yet that we're going to buy. So when we're talking about games that aren't out yet, the number 1 game that you want to plan to buy is Battlefield 1. It's scored great, and it's high on the priority games list. Same with Steep. Both these games. Let's plan. Put it on your list. Put it on your wish list. Start saving up. And get ready for the release because these games are going to be great to get into. I'm excited to play them, and I know everybody else is stoked to get in there. Overwatch. This was one of the surprising ones that I don't own, nobody plays, and everybody wants to play it. So let's hop in this world together. I mean, damn, it looks fun, and it would be great to, even at a LAN party, get 5-on-5. So let's try and make that happen. Dreadnought. Here's a new one that hasn't come out yet. High on the priority list. Looks super fun to play. Again, with Battlefield and Steep. Put this on your priority list. A wish list. Something to save for. The Ship remastered. No surprise as we found there. Fun game to play. And we'll keep doing it at the LAN parties. So if you don't have this game, pick it up. Oh man, it is dirt cheap. I mean, I think it's less than $10. And when it's on sale, sometimes it's like $1. So, no excuses there. Starbound. Now, I already bought it. Scored so high and looked interesting. And you can have 8 players in this game. Super cool. I'm looking forward to flying around in space and exploring. This one looks pretty interesting. It's got some great survival and cooperative gameplay in here where you can create your own homes and bases and technology and ships and get out and fly around. So it looks pretty neat. Don't Starve Together. This is one that I don't think anybody really owns, but it's scored on the priority list. So maybe not one that you want to save up for in comparison to some of the newer games that are coming out or ones that you may not have that are higher on the list, but definitely one that we should be buying if we're looking for something new. Next up is Broforce. And here's another one that's been out for a while, and same story there. If we're looking for something fresh, a little bit of a change, let's hook this one up. Last on the priority list, Escape from Tarkov. It's not out yet. It's gonna get better and better, it barely. I mean, it just about fell right in. So, but it didn't. So, one to keep an eye out on. People want to play it. And let's take a minute and just review the Zombie Pit one last time. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff in here that we were really split on. And, I know that this is where even my heart was a little bit crushed there. I know that some others' hearts are going to be broken. This is where we can make a compromise and dip right into the Zombie Pit and try to hit something here that the group was pretty split on. So, now, some of these ones that are higher up, I think, whether it's new or old, we can tip the scale and jump over to into a world where we know somebody else is really going to love it, and we'd be just taking a chance at experiencing something that we normally wouldn't want to play. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough of what all the votes were and how each game did, what I loved and what I didn't, and I can't wait to fucking get into these games with you guys. We've got just a great lineup of pretty amazing titles that are coming out and games that we're going to continue to play. I'm going to email this out to everybody. Take some time to take a look at it and look through the priority and figure out which games you want to save up for. Hopefully this will help out so that we can all get aligned and on the same page, so when we do meet up, we're not limited. We've got plenty of games that we're aligned on that we can play together and have a good time. All right, my brothers, GG's, and I will see you in game. This is Gurhm signing off. Peace.